Planet Zoo has been rated E10 Plus by the ESRB for crude humor, mild blood, and mild violence. It is generally suitable for people aged 10 years and up. From the turreted castle and Main Street to Monte Cristo Island and Kukuana Land, Bartholomew Zenon's Zenon Land is protected by the Night Sheriff. Day and night, he is burdened by a witch's curse to be aware of all that live and play within the massive fantasy theme park. Now an attack on the park by a monster hunter who knows far too much threatens everything, guests, staff, and fellow supernaturals taking refuge in the park. The Night Sheriff must scramble to uncover not only the source of the threat, but secrets of the park of which even he was not aware. If he doesn't, he may be doomed. The park may be doomed. Even the world may be doomed. And that's a lot of doom. Get your copy at Amazon.com today. Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Planet Zoo and the Sequoia Park Zoo Redux project. If this is your first time here, welcome to the channel. If you've been here before, welcome back. Today we're going to do something special. And I'm doing this as a bit of a tribute to my grandmother. Her name was Pearl, and she was a cook and a mother and an inspiration in my life to the point that I can't really describe how influential she was. I've mentioned before that I'm a retired chef. Well, she was the one that set me on that path. And she was the one who told me that I could do it, and that I shouldn't doubt myself, and that if that's what I wanted to do, then I would be able to do it. And I have to warn you that it's entirely possible that sometime during these descriptions where I'm actually talking, that I'll break down and cry. She's been gone now for a long time, but I still miss her. I still miss her. And she meant a lot to me. She really did. Like I said, she was the reason I became a chef. And one of the last things that she said to me was that I was a better chef, a better cook than she ever was. Now, I gotta tell you, I don't believe that for a second. I don't. I'm good. But she was magical. And, but that was the last thing she said to me. Ever. And, I want to tell you about the circumstances under which she said that. I was working at Disney at the time. I was a chef at the Grand Floridian. And she basically, she loved, I was taking her to the, geez, where do I start? I'm flubbering this, sorry. She basically, I would take her to the Epcot flower and garden shows because she loved going to these things. She loved going to the Epcot flower and garden shows. And so I'd taken her. I'd taken her to the flower and garden show. And we were sitting there. We had just gone through. Her favorite part of going to this thing was the butterfly garden that they had there. Well, that was, like I said, that was the last thing I ever got to do with her. I took her to Epcot for the flower and garden show. And she enjoyed it. She really enjoyed it. She thought it was really fun, and she got to see the butterflies, and she got to see the plants and the roses, and it made her happy, and it was one last chance at happiness before she got really, really sick and died. And anyway, I'm trying. If it sounds like I'm mumbling and all that number, it's because I am. I'm trying very hard not to break down crying because, God, I loved that lady. She was classy. She was classy. She didn't have a mean bone in her body. She never had a hateful bone in her body. And for a woman who grew up during World War II after being born in the 1920s, especially in the South, it's remarkable how unprejudiced she was. She loved everybody. She loved everybody. She was just such a great person. And so I decided that when I decided that I was going to put this this little thing together, this butterfly house, I decided that I was going to name it in her honor. And I'm going to. And this is, you know what? Let's not do that. This is the Pearl Butler Memorial Butterfly Garden. So anyway, guys, I'm going to turn this over to the speed build now. And I hope you enjoy it. I think you will. I think I'm going to enjoy the heck out of it. But it's going to be a tough build for me because I'm going to be thinking about my grandmother every second. And I'm an emotional person, especially, I think I mentioned before that I had a stroke. Well, one of the side effects of the stroke is I don't have a throttle on my emotions. And if I get too happy, too sad, too whatever, I can't hold it back. I'll get so sad that I start sobbing. And I'm not ashamed of that. I'm not ashamed of having these natural reactions, especially because my grandmother was so very special, and she was such a great person. And I try to live up. I try to live up to her and her memory every day. I try to be the person that she always knew that I could be. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go to the speed build now. So here it is, a day after. I got all the build complete. And I still have no idea what to say about this. My grandmother loved going to butterfly gardens. She loved looking at all the plants and she loved the bugs. She just loved these things. So when I decided to make a butterfly garden for this zoo, I just thought about my grandmother and I figured, yeah, I'm going to dedicate it to her. And it's such a silly thing. It's just something I did for a computer game that I like playing, but I can't help feeling that she would just be so happy by this. You know, she'd think it was cool that I did this for her. And that is my favorite picture of her. My grandmother in her sombrero, grinning into the camera. That picture wraps up exactly who she is, or who she was rather. She was fun, she was kind, she was beautiful. I'm not a particularly religious man and I'm certainly not Catholic, but if there were actual saints, if I actually believed in them, my grandmother would be one. Anyway, guys, here I am, sitting here, trying very hard not to cry into my microphone. Because I miss her. I'll see you in the next episode.
The law of the jungle, as old and as true as the sky. The forest protected shall prosper, the forest neglected shall die. You've an aptitude to change attitudes, cause we have to prove it's that planet to grab your shovel. There's work to do, the world's in trouble. You gotta build a zoo.